Briggs and Stratton, made in USA. Ha! The model of inefficiency. Let's see how long I can make a video with it fully posting. Yesterday I did it, or the day before, and it actually posted partial, and then it posted fully when I retried it. Where did I get this mower from? I bought it from a neighbor for 25 bucks. He wanted 50, and he said, I'll take 25. So long story short, it won't start. I put gas in it, it was empty. And I put oil in it because there was zero oil. I even put a stick inside, there was no oil. So I tried to start it, and it wouldn't start. So I took a little crappy pointer, and I stuck it in here. And no spark. I cranked it over by pulling on the rip cord, start cord, and no spark. So I figured, well, no spark, maybe it's a spark plug. Nope, check that, seems fine, cleaned out the engine, sprayed some quick start, but no spark, bad coil. So I went to a neighbor who's in rough shape, and he said, for 10 bucks you could have this one, the coils are all the same. So I took apart this ancient Briggs and Stratton 3.5 horsepower. This is a 6.5, and what I found was the coil is almost identical, but it's not. Sure looks the same, but it's not. This one has different spacing. It's got a gap here, whereas this one has a little nylon of some sort, spacer. They look identical, but they are not. So I thought I could cut off part of the post here that was interfering with the coil. Yeah, it'll focus eventually. I ended up cutting a tiny hole into the intake. So I took some JB Weld Hercules epoxy, and I epoxied that shut. Then I went to watch a YouTube video on how to test your coil, and I set my neighbor's coil, and they both test out okay. 2.5 to 5 kilo mega whatever ohms. I'm no good with ohms. Ohm's law doesn't apply to me. I just hit it with a hammer and a chisel. So I can't put this coil on. Supposedly it's a known good coil, and I'm wasting time when I've got roof repair and apartment repairs to do. So I set the air gap. I saw a video on YouTube. There's so many good videos. This guy's got 400,000 hits. And he says, check your model number. I don't know what model this is. It's the 650 series. What the heck model? So I set it for 14 thou. And I don't think you can do a very precise setting on this because things aren't entirely flat. So I jammed this thing in here as hard as I could. And I got 14 thou, so maybe it's 13 or 12 thou. But I think close enough is good enough in this. This ain't no high tech. I kind of sort of matched where the wear was, or the non-wear was on the coil. It looks like it's even closer than it was, which, as long as there's a space. So I don't have a phone holder. MJM Computers sent me one. MJM's garage workshop, and he's busy putting in a big tranny that he rebuilt and an oil pump pickup that he replaced the O-ring on his LS motor in his Suburban. So I'm going to put this thing back together, and I'm going to do some roof work because that's what's important. So I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to have to go see my lawnmower guy and look in his backyard and see if I can find something a bit more modern so I can get the correct coil. But I think my coil's good, so why isn't it starting? This thing is definitely off the grounding apparatus. I've got it wired shut over here, so I'm not grounding to stall this thing. Such a simple thing. I can't fix it. Oh, how long is this video? 3:51. I got a new phone coming. I went to the Verizon corporate store, and the guy was very nice, and it's the third or fourth time I've been there, and I've been on with Tech Coach with Verizon, and I pay them lots of money. My payments are done with this phone. I pay for insurance. I pay lots of money. The guy says, this phone's junk, I'm going to get you a new one, free replacement. How cool is that? Of course, it's my fourth one, and I've asked them previously to lower my bill because it doesn't work here, doesn't do this, doesn't do that, and this guy said, hey, no problem, I'll just get you a new phone. Alrighty, I'm going to put this back together and see if it works. I'll put you on pause for a minute, don't go away. I've got all the little bolts back on the oil filler, 3 of the shoulder bolts for the top gasoline cover, shoulder bolt for the oil filler, 2 longer bolts for here, put a bit of grease on them even though they didn't have any corrosion, and 2 of the shorter bolts that go down into the crankcase. I've got another mower which is almost identical to this. I just don't feel like taking it apart. I really should be working on my building improvements, not playing around with a mower that I don't really need. It's just a spare mower, but I wanted to tinker with it, so I'll put it together and maybe tinkering with it will have brought it back to life, because I did have a reading of 4.95, and they say that 2.5 to 5 is okay. And they both tested similarly, even though hard to believe. They're so similar, yet the spread of the bolts is a touch different. Just a little bit, just enough to aggravate you. Pause. So that was simple enough. So how do I test it for spark? And put the camera here. It's going to fall over. Oh, where'd my phone holder go that my buddy got me? Such a good guy. Selfless. Some people are so nice. Why would he get me these little things that I can use? He's such a nice guy. I'm buttering him up. No, I'm not. He's a good guy. He helped me with Ms. Hip Chick's Mercedes trailer hitch. Well, his son was really more of a help than he was. His son knew more than we did. Well, just take the whole bumper off. So I'm going to try to pull the trigger on this thing. And I've got the starter. No spark. Here, you can watch me drop it off the tailgate. When you're busy pulling it. On the other side, I'll pump some more gas in, but I think we're SOL. I think this guy knew it didn't run, that's why he said 50, 25. I'm going to post this video because if I make it any longer. What do we got here? 7 minutes. Oh boy. Let's hope it posts. Let's go do some roof repairs. At least we can mess that up.